Class. This is a daily 5 writing lesson for pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. Please get out your spring writing journal and turn to the poem Reduce, Reuse, Recycle. Reduce, reuse, recycle, 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 reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. For your world is my world and my world is your world. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's easy to do. Let's think about what we were writing about yesterday. I chose to write about how we could reuse a box, and I made a farm animal, didn't I, with my box? My box is a pig. Today, our date is April 21st. Capital A, R, I, O, 21st is a 2 in the tens place and a 1 in the ones place. You may have noticed I was thinking about our book, Recycle Every Day by Nancy Elizabeth Wallace. And we've been reading this as a continuing story. And so today we were reading about Tuesday. On Tuesday, what did Minna and her daddy do? They cleaned up the yard. They got all the leaves and the grass and the weeds and they put them into the compost maker. And when I saw that picture about the compost maker, it reminded me of a project that we did as a class earlier this year. I wonder if you remember this project too. Do you remember we had something that looked kind of like this? And it kind of had some ribs on it, kind of like this. Do you remember? And it was orange, and then we had taken the top off. It's kind of gooey down here. Had a stem on it. Do you remember when we took and carved out a pumpkin? But in our pumpkin, we placed some unusual things. Do you remember that we put, what did we put in there? We put some garbage in our pumpkin. Do you remember doing that? Because we have an experiment, don't we, that we're working on. And it's almost Earth Day, so it's almost time for us to dig up that experiment. And I don't even remember all the garbage we put in there. But it was crazy the things we put in. We put in, I think, some paper and some plastic. And we stuffed our pumpkin as full as we could of garbage. And then do you remember what we did with it? We buried it in a box, didn't we? In one of our planter boxes so that we could dig it up later and see what happens to garbage and see what happens to something like a pumpkin. So when I'm thinking about that project that we did, I'm wondering what's going to happen. What will happen to the pumpkin? 6 words today. What? What is one of our sight words? You can turn back here and use your resource. Find the what. Remember, we start with a capital W, H, A, T, leave a space. What will, I, O, I think I'll add another L to make that look right. What will happen? A, What will happen to, that's a sight word you're pretty familiar with, huh? My book has a bump there, so it kind of made my T a little messy. To the, T-H-E, the, leave your last space, pumpkin, up, pump, 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 pumpkin. Now this is a question, so I'll put a question mark. And we're going to find out on Wednesday what did happen to our pumpkin.